Hello, YouTube. I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney, and on this channel, we answer publicly posted questions from YouTube users, getting folks the answers they need from an employment attorney. We have a question here from YouTube user Tire93, who asked us, can you go back and sue for a discriminatory termination that occurred back in 2020? Okay, so on the day that I make this video, it is December the 6th of 2024. So odds are that we're talking about a termination that occurred 4, maybe 3 years ago. Yes. Now, the EEOC, the Federal Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, has either a 180 or a 300-day statute of limitations for an act of discrimination in the workplace, depending on what state you're in. Is that bonkers? Yes, that's bonkers. And yet, the law persists. So it is the law, and that stinks. But our answer is not a definite no. Because there's two things that could be going on. One, we have a video on the channel about the continuing violation doctrine. It is very unlikely that the continuing violation doctrine would apply to a termination, but I can theorize a way that it could. So, listen, maybe there's an argument there. The continuing violation doctrine would theoretically extend the statute of limitations for discriminatory termination if it applied. Again, overwhelmingly, it probably does not apply here, but it theoretically could, so it's worth a mention. It's all it's worth, because realistically, no, that's not going to work. But, like, theoretically it could. So if you want to dig into that, go watch that video. The continuing violation doctrine is really hard to use, hard to succeed with. So, like, be aware of that. You can't stretch it too far. Like, there's a lot going on there. We have a video on the channel about it. You can go hit that. I'm not going to get into it again. The much more realistic option is that you, Tire93, may in fact be in a jurisdiction, be in a state or a locale that has an anti-discrimination in the workplace statute with a longer statute of limitations. Now, there are, I believe, several places in this country that have a 5-year, 5 years, count them, 5. That wasn't really counting. It was just a number. Statute of limitations for workplace discrimination. And if you are in one of those jurisdictions, whether it's a state law or a local law, you would potentially still have a timely claim for that discriminatory termination, which occurred in 2020. Now, I don't know when in 2020 it occurred, but the larger point here is even if you have less than 5-year statute of limitations where you are, you might still be timely. It could be 4 and the dates could line up just right for you. Like, there's other ways it could happen. So you're going to have to check with local counsel, because I'm not allowed to tell you the statute of limitations under your state or local laws. In most states, I would need local counsel to be involved for that, and I'm not going to bring in my local counsel network just to make a video. So what you got to do, and this is my advice for you, is call a local attorney, schedule 3 to 5 consultations, have this conversation like, hey, is this inside the statute of limitations? Be forewarned, attorneys may not want a case, even if it is timely, that is older. These cases tend to degrade a little bit over time. So some firms would say, hey, this case is pretty old, I'm not into it. That's fine. That's their problem. Just find out, like, hey, yeah, I get it. You don't want the case. Is the case timely? Can I bring the case? Because if you can bring the case still, odds are you can find an attorney to bring it for you, or listen, if you need to, you can go pro se, right? Like, that's not ideal, but, like, maybe better than nothing. So my answer here is, can you go back and sue for a termination motivated by discrimination back in 2020? In most of the country, odds are no. In some parts of the nation, yes. And so you got to check with local counsel. Wish I could give you a more definitive answer, but I am neither allowed, nor do I have all the local laws and all the state laws of this fine nation this relatively fine nation in my mind. They're not all just off the top of my head, right? Like if we're in Utah, got to refamiliarize myself with the laws of Utah on a given case, right? Just the way it is. 50 states, a couple protectorates, you got to stay on top of things. I hope this is helpful, Tire 93. I hope that you're able to pursue your claim. I hope you get paid fat checks for whatever was done to you, including this termination. And I wish you well. If this video was helpful, like, subscribe, comment down below, share our channel so it may grow. Thanks, everybody.